what I've come here to talk to you about today is air guns. I also love air guns, and I shoot a lot of air guns. You know, it's funny because I snipe, out of my window. And before I had a Panther, which is basically like an RWS. It is RWS, but Panther is the original. Oh, actually, Diana. Sorry, Diana's the original one. European air gun, super accurate, really thick barrel, but it was not very powerful. Maybe 500 FPS. Using lead pellets. If you're using PBA, maybe it'll get up to like 550, maybe 6. But so, not very good for hunting out of my window. I mean, yes, I killed a rabbit when I was shooting from very close ranges. But so I went to Cabela's. I actually went to the store, like my mecca, and bought a bunch of other stuff there, my dad and I. But we also got this new air gun, the Ruger Airhawk Elite. See, I'm gonna show it to you in my next video. But first, what I wanted to just tell you a few things about it. Real great gun, 1,000 feet per second, super thick barrel, which means it's gonna shoot very accurately, very nicely. The scope is great, but one thing that sucks about the gun, the scope rings suck. They just literally, after 5 shots, scope popped right off. I wish I had saved them to show you guys, but like really, it's just it was all like rusted down, kind of not rusted down. It was what I'm trying to think of the word. Whatever, it'll come back to me. It was shaved off. It was after like 8 shots, shaved off. Scope popped off. I was like, all right, this is weird. I'll just put it back on. So I put it back on. Maybe 5 or 6 shots later, it the front of the scope, just like, let's say this is my fist is the scope, and this is the gun, and this is the gun. It basically just popped right off like that. And I was like, dude, come on, this sucks. So I went to my friends at pyramidair.com. Actually, you can use the code. I think it's, I love Nothing Fancy, and but you can use the code like Nothing Fancy or something and get, I don't know, it was like 15% off. So I got some of these Skadoosh scope rings. These I thought were good scope rings based off of the the reviews and the description, and I'm just gonna say these are BKL Technologies. They make scope rings. This is a rimfire and airgun scope. As you can see, the packaging is super nice, super sturdy too. Like, this is real rigid. And I don't know if you can see here, but yeah, it's so definitely. You can also get them at bkltech.com. These are their rimfire and airgun. I guess that's whatever. Rimfire and airgun. So now let me take it out of the packaging to show you guys. So right here we'll say, first what you gotta do to open these is you go to this side, flip them up like that, open them just like that, and then here, these are kind of stuck in here, so you open it up, boom. So what are we getting inside the package? So first of all, we're getting your scope rings. These are actually, they're not too heavy, but they're, it's interesting because you kind of want them to be a little bit heavy, so they're heavy enough to, really withstand all the shock, but they're really not too heavy. This is for a 1-inch tube. The scope on the scope on the Ruger is 1 inch. It's a 3x9x40. I'll show you guys the Ruger in my next vid. I'll be shooting it. It's a 3x9x40 scope, really nice scope, better than the one on my 22. And this is also an 11mm rail down here. See, that's an 11mm rail. This is 1 inch. And so in the package, besides for that sidetrack, we have scope rings. Then the next thing we have over here is we have almost like your manual, basically telling you how to, mount them. Tells you all that jazz. Then, it's very short, nothing on the back. It's that one single sheet. Then here we've got this little package. I don't know, this is the first time I'm opening it. Other YouTube videos, people have opened it before they know exactly what's inside. But, oh, look. Exactly what I thought. Allen key. I don't know if it's going to be the same Allen key as on the, the Ruger came with. But why don't we take these scope rings out of the package, because, see, they're bolted into the cardboard. You know what? I'm not going to bore you with that right now. Actually, I may as well. Come on. It's only like, what, 5 minutes now? Okay, so see here. Well, this will also be a test. So it's pretty easy to take them out. the screws are good. What I like about these scope rings is, as you'll see, it consists of two parts. Like the top is not, one single like half circle, but it's two half circles. And I don't know, I like that because it can be adjusted to your specific scope if you need it. One thing that I would recommend is, in order to help the scope, keep your scope healthy, because that's one of the most important parts of the gun, is really the scope, maintenance of the scope. Oops, that just fell down. But as I was saying before, how it's only half a ring. Sorry, you got to see my messy room, but so now, as I was saying before, it's two pieces instead of just one, and that's your main part of your gun is your scope, man. You got to keep your sights in order. If your sights aren't in order, if they're jiggling around, how are you ever going to hit your target? You're never going to hit your target. Just some other really cool things is, guess what, guys? Kung Fu Panda 2 is coming out in theaters. Like, honestly, Kung Fu Panda, coolest movie ever. Sorry, getting sidetracked while I'm doing this, but you gotta keep you guys entertained somehow. So, basically over here you have your base, which this is, the rail, and these are your two parts up here. And here, what I thought was interesting, what I'm gonna I bet you one of the things it's gonna be good about this, let me get in the light, there we go, is that, see how these aren't separate? These are together. This is like one solid piece, one hunk of metal. And it's not too solid because of this, because of these things right here. So you can actually, mount it on. But on these scope rings here, we have one part goes up here. One part goes back over here. So as you can see, it's two parts. See, like you can take this part off. And that's one of the features that I like about it. It has your 4 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 screws in here for putting it on. Once again, 11mm dovetail, 1-inch tubes. I'm going to sign off for now, showing you my scope rings, talking about the Ruger, Kung Fu Panda, better go see it. I'm going to have a Ruger video coming out. If you have any questions, just leave a comment. And that's, also I have some pellet, reviews coming out. I have some really cool ballistic photos showing penetration, damage, also some accuracy. One thing that I have to say, Crossman pellets, don't buy them. They're really terrible. Their match is terrible, pointed is terrible. Everything's really inaccurate. I would say go with the Beeman, go with the RWS, really perfect pellets. On that note, we'll have our next video, which is going to be a pellet video.